Hey YouTube, TCG Shek here, and this is basically my first thought of basically the first build of my scrap deck for March 1st. I've had some iffy ideas on what to play in this, but this is basically the first build. I'll tell you basically what my changes might be if I am to basically change this. I've even thought of a thing with triple Veiler, double DD Crow, and Gors in the BLS just for the lols, because everyone wants to try to play BLS. But yeah, that is kind of thinking of trying that maybe, see how good it is, but decided against it. It's just that one-off thing. It's not always going to work and all that, but that's kind of what I was trying to do for some reason. But anyway, this is the new build. It is quite a bit different. Well, it's not completely different. It's, as I said in my last video, it is partly the YCS stun build and it's partly my build, because I kind of took some ideas from the two of them. So anyway, it's free Chimera, obviously, as always. Went back to triple Beast. Triple Veiler for those wind-up plays. Also because for the fact I do not have any Max Cs. Else I'll probably be playing 3 Max Cs and 2 Veiler's main deck. Maybe 2 and 2 in side deck, the third Max C and that, something like that, I don't know. But it's just ideas like that. I don't have Max C, so I'm not really needed to worry about it yet, but that's it. 2 King Tigers. I've decided to main deck this with Inzektor's wind-ups going around now, and with that format going, it'll probably be best to main deck the King Tigers. I used to side it, as you probably saw, but I decided to main deck it now with this. The 2 Tengus now, I've decided to run 2 because I like to test out how 2 works now. I don't know how it will, but I want to see how 2 works. 1 Goblin. The Goblin was one of my iffy choices. It was this and something else. I'll show you what it is. I was going to take out for Call of the Haunted, but don't know whether to play 2 or 3 calls, because not really that much I can get out of chaining call to get something, so that's really it. And also the 1 Gors, because I like Gors. Goblin is still a good card in my opinion, but for me it's just like still not sure if I want to, stuff like that. 3 Scrap Storms, okay, pretty much all of them. 3 MST, always play 3 MSTs and scraps. 3 Duality. 1 Scrapyard, because originally I was playing only 3 beasts, so I took Scrapyard down to 1, again like the YCS build one, but I kind of went for my own little spice on it, basically. Might put it up to 2 because Goblin's there, and I'm also thinking maybe main Thunder Kings instead of the Goblin. Oh, dropped it. But yeah, might try Thunder King main decked and just take out Goblin and Scapegoat. Or I was thinking of maybe doing that and have Call in it, not sure. Obviously that Scapegoat which I just showed you. Scapegoat, it still gives me access to the Naturia stuff, but again, not too sure if I want to play Scapegoat anymore. I mean, if you chain it on Inzektor, it'll just give them a lot more field presence for them to just keep popping, so but Scapegoat, it does give me access to the Naturias, but both wind-ups and all that, they don't really do much to that. Scapegoat doesn't really affect them, stuff like that. All it does is stall. But against other decks it's good, so I'll need to see. Just monster effects seem to be dominating more than spells and traps, so it doesn't give Naturias as big of a hit. Like, it's not as big as it used to be, when it was basically spells and traps dominating. 1 Book of Moon, because I still think it is a good card, still helps. Even though people say it's slow this format, I still think it helps. So I'm still going to try it out. 1 Mind Control, broken card. Enough said, should have went. Heavy Storm because it's Heavy Storm, Dark Hole because it's Dark Hole, Reborn because you like reviving stuff. Traps 2 Horn of the Phantom Beasts because in the end it is still an amazing card, and hence why I've decided to run that with King Tiger's main deck. It really becomes a problem when you have basically a 2/5 guy that can basically run over anything and they can't make plays with like their tour guides and such. Stuff like that. But they can tour guide into Sangan to search into something. Yeah, that's really stuff like that. It's just off things. Thinking of maybe running a third, maybe, not sure. But anyway, Fiendish Chains. Not sure if I would run 3. I don't know, but I've only got the 2, so 2 Fiendish Chains. Got them when they were cheap, so good for that. Obviously, newly on the board, 2 TTs. Obviously I'd run them. It's still a good card, so still play them. 2 Warnings and a Judgment. That's the main deck. The main deck is kind of half stun, half go for big dragon as soon as you can. I was thinking with Tengu going to 2, it really did kind of hinder that deck, but I was going for maybe if I can adapt that and adapt into stun as well, like the one in YCS, it might be able to do alright. It's a test I'm doing. I might try Thunder Kings in here instead, stuff like that. Called the Haunted instead of the Scapegoat and Goblin. I might like the Goblins and decide to play more of them. Just see how the format goes. I'll be doing a lot of testing and such. Extra deck has not changed at all. It's still this usual Catastor, Librarian, Bryo, Black Rose, Stardust, Beast, Barkion. I'm thinking if I do take out Scapegoat, it does make Beast and Barkion less playable, which means it gives me room to run stuff like Colossal Fighter, which people have completely forgotten about, but in the end it is still an amazing card. And even Thought Ruler, because Thought Ruler, built-in self-protection, decent attack, 2/7 is still pretty good, and it gives me like more choices for when I'm making level 8, since I'm running 3 Beast, 2 Tengus, 2 them, and even if I want to, I can use Thunder Kings and synchro with them. It gives me more choices, so I'll see how those go. To these, I've only got the one Utopia, so I might put in a second one. Still keep the Roach in there just in case. Never know when you need it. And obviously the Scrap Monsters Synchros and the Chimera Tech. Those are basically all the off things that I could change. I've always liked having. I've still got my Thought Ruler and Colossal Fighter just in case I might decide to run them again. They are both still amazing cards. They were amazing back then, but with the extra deck space, it's really pushed them off it. But if I can get room in there, I would like to try them out, just so you know. So if you don't have like all the synchros and that, you could try them out, see how they work. I mean, making Colossal Fighter would really, really, really hurt, but basically nearly destroy the Rabbit engine, because as soon as you get a big guy, they really find it difficult to get rid of them. Even like Scrap Dragon, I've made Scrap Dragon before they managed to make Laggy and that, so I was like, I'll just keep popping all your stuff and just attacking, you can't do a thing, stuff like that. It's really done. Just make a big guy. Just gives me another choice as well, with Sam's maybe coming back. Thought Ruler just because it's built-in protection. That was quite a long talk. Anyway, side deck, double Sidra. Never know if Karakuris pop around. Top deck this against Wind-Ups, special it, and then sync away their Zen main, stuff like that. It's got its plays. 2 Thunder Kings. I'm maybe main decking this, not sure. 2 DD Crows. Still got my 2 LT ones, which I'm quite happy with. I would play 3 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, but as you see here, I can't seem to find my third one. Don't know why, I used to have loads, but I would play 3 Shadow Imprisonings. Pretty much everyone is nowadays. 2 Chain Disappearance, might put in a 3rd. Again, need to see how the meta goes. 2 Bottomless Trap Holes. Still think it's a good card, like to see how that goes. May take it out again. It's just like Odd Choices, I think it might work. It goes against rabbits, it works against rogue decks that like make big guys, stuff like that. Works against Dark Worlds in a way, because get that guy back, special, Grapha, Bottomless. That's that guy pretty much gone now. Stuff like that, I like to try stuff. And 2 goes in matches. I've taken out Leeching the Light because I'm not with agents getting hit, I'm not too sure how they would do, so I don't see them as much of a problem. Unless they obviously get Christia, but with it's basically agents I've actually been able to deal with pretty fine. Thing is just the amount of play I've had, so I've actually been able to take agents out quite easily. Plus you can easily make Roach before they make anything. Gachi isn't a problem, it's just a stall before they get cards, so and they can't just trish you, so that's good. Lightsworn with 2 Lylas, it's basically, it does make it slightly more consistent, but it's got a bit of the luck factor if you can get the 2 Lylas, that's really it. Not Lyla, Lumina, that's it. And stuff like that, it does make it slightly more consistent, because you can drop, say, like, have a Lumina on field, Lumina Engrave, which you could have, which actually might be quite likely, actually, with that. And then drop a Wolf special, Lumina, drop something else, special Garroth, mill them. It does make them pretty decent, but I'd like to see how they do before it takes off, because again, with all the other decks running around, I don't know if they'd like to be played right now. Pretty much like Scraps and Black Wings, stuff like that is like off the radar things, no one thinks about it, but Shadow Imprisonings being main means I do not want to play Black Wings. It's a side deck card that does hurt us, even though it wasn't put in there for us, it does work. So I'm going for Scraps, it's kind of anti-meta, it's just basically control. It's nice to play, that's really it. So with all that, it's basically my first little build of how I would like the new meta to see how it goes when the new meta takes in place and all that. So with all that, try some things out, stuff like that. Maybe putting Thunder Kings back in, try some new text maybe, try to get my hands on Max C's, stuff like that. So it's just stuff like that I like to test out. See what you guys think in the comment section down below. So anyway, that's basically the scrap deck I've decided to try out first time with all these. So tell me what you think. See you YouTube.